Hey guys, my name is Chad Husky. I am from North Carolina in the United States. Happy to be talking to the Helix group. I wanted to talk to you guys about Variax. So I've been playing guitar over 25 years. Some of my influences have been guitar players like Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Page, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Slash from Guns N' Roses, on down the line. That kind of blues rock, classic rock sort of thing. And I've always been trying to chase good tones and good sounds. Line 6 has actually been a big part of that. I've been using Line 6 equipment since their first amp, the Axis 212, came out. I think I bought one in 1998. So I've been using Line 6 equipment for quite a long time. Specifically, though, I did want to talk about Variax. I purchased my first Variax back in 2005. Prior to that, I was using a Roland VG88 system because I did need something that would allow me to do alternate tunings, lowered tunings, capo tunings, all digitally without having to change things around on the guitar. And at the time, the VG88 was the best thing around, the only thing around really that could do that sort of stuff. It did have its drawbacks. You had to mount the 13-pin pickup to your guitar. It didn't have the same tactile feedback and control that you do with Variax. So once once they launched the feature set where you had Workbench and you could customize your presets in Variax and through the software, it was just, that was it for me. I knew right away that was the way I wanted to go. I initially bought the lower end 300 model and very quickly sold that and got the 600, which was the step up. And it was basically a Strat style body. And to be honest, I've never been without a Variax since then. Again, that was in 2005. So moving forward a little bit from there, in 2012, I picked up the JTV 59, and then in 2013, I picked up a JTV 69. I would often get asked, well, why would you need two? There are a couple reasons for that. Playing live, I always like to have a backup guitar because strings break, things can happen. Always having a backup is a good thing. The other thing is just from a tactile perspective, sometimes I like the feel of a Gibson style guitar and sometimes a Fender style guitar. So even though I can get the sounds identical in both instruments, it's fun to be able to kind of change the feel and have a different feel and approach on the two guitars. So that's the reason I have two. So my approach to Variax has been, I like to use them, number one, to create sounds that I can't do or I can't quickly and easily do with traditional instruments, again, such as alternate tunings, or going from acoustic emulation to the electric guitar emulation, or going to a sitar or a 12-string. So there's a whole wide range of possibilities there with Variax that you really can't obtain easily with traditional instruments. Secondly, I also have grown into using the Variax to replace traditional guitars for just traditional guitar functions. I like the way that my Variax guitars sound. I've used Workbench to dial them in, and I like them as well as any guitar I own, any real guitar that I own. So in the beginning, it was more just to fill in the gaps of what I couldn't do with regular instruments. But now it's turned into, they are my main instruments. I mean, pretty much all I use are Variax guitars. So I had started a YouTube channel I'd started one a long time ago, but never really did anything with it. I started putting up a few videos in 2015, and I had one or two about Variax that did okay. But in 2016, I got a Helix, and I started making a lot of Helix videos. Helix was pretty new to the market, and having used Line 6 equipment for so long, it was really an easy transition when I got Helix. Everything was just so straightforward, and with all the background experience I had from their first amp to the HD500, it was just a super easy transition for me. They made the user interface so simple. So I started doing videos and tutorials, and it really took off, and people would see me playing the Variax in a lot of the videos. So I would start to get questions about Variax specifically. People would ask me, are you using the magnetic pickups, the modeled sound? How do they play? How do they feel? How does it sound compared to your traditional guitars? What can you do in Workbench? How do you use Workbench? What can you do in Workbench? So a lot of those questions kept coming up again and again. So I decided to start making some videos about Variax as well. And I have several on my channel now. Everything from which Variax to buy depending on your needs, to how to connect it to a computer, how to use Workbench, how to tweak things, how to customize your sounds. So it's a pretty, I've covered a lot of ground, and there's also videos that have some downloads of custom banks that I've created. So, and there'll be more Variax content to come for sure. But there's quite a bit there now if you're new to Variax, or even if you've been using Variax but would like to dive a little deeper into the settings, be able to tweak it a little bit more. So one of the coolest things for me in terms of having the YouTube channel, having performance videos, tutorial videos, is it has allowed me to connect with people all over the world, which was something really only a few years ago I never really thought about. I know a lot of guitar players that live in my area, and of course the internet is wide open, but I just never really approached my YouTube channel as a way to be able to have conversations and ask and answer questions from people all over the world. So that's been very satisfying to have literally met people from all over the world, to be able to exchange ideas, to have conversations, and to make friends with people who I would never have met otherwise. So that's been a lot of fun. I'm thankful for Variax and Helix as the vehicle that kind of got me to make these videos and to be able to connect with folks like you guys. Okay, so lastly, I'm just going to go through, I'm going to play some riffs. There's going to be a patch that there will be a link to be able to download that from Custom Tone. I'm going to use this patch to kind of show off what the Variax can do. There's going to be different snapshots that will change settings on the Variax that will highlight going from different sounds and types of guitars, different tunings, acoustic versus electric, that sort of thing. So it'll be fun. You can download this if you have a Variax and a Helix. It'll be plug and play. And if you don't, maybe think about giving it a try. But thanks for checking this out, and hope you enjoy.